Pregnancy is an amazing time in a woman's or young woman's life. For some, it is a time of incredible joy.
For some, such as teen moms and single moms, it is a much more stressful experience.
Mom Space on Spotlight on Girls invites and helps mothers of all ages to have stress-free, healthy pregnancies, stay on top of self-care during pregnancy, and deliver healthy babies.
On Mom Space today, we've had the pleasure of speaking with Ms. Kimberly Seal Allers, author of A Mocha Manual to a Fabulous Pregnancy,
and Ms. Quelle Walker, director of the Black Infant Mortality Reduction Resource Center, about the tremendous importance of breastfeeding our babies today.
We are pleased to have with us today Ms. Kimberly Allers, award-winning author of the Mocha Manual to a Fabulous Pregnancy.
Ms. Allers, thank you for joining us today to talk about how essential breastfeeding is for mothers and babies alike. Can you tell us a little bit more about Mocha Manual to a Fabulous Pregnancy?
Yes, the Mocha Manual to a Fabulous Pregnancy is a first-of-its-kind guidebook for women of color. It really looks at all the things that are going on in a woman's life to help her have a great pregnancy. For example, black women are twice as likely to have a low birth weight baby, and we're also twice as likely to have a premature birth. So the book really looks to address all the issues that may be going on in your life, whether that's your finances, your relationships, your health and your fitness, anything that might be going on to help you really have a successful pregnancy and birth.
2 generations ago, about 99% of women in the U.S. used to breastfeed.
Mm-hmm.
By 1972, that percentage was down to something like 22% of the women. And I know that there's a movement now to get that number back up again, but what happened?
Well, first of all, that number is even lower in our community, but I think there was a couple of things that were going on. One, there was aggressive marketing by the infant formula companies, and there is now some more international guidelines on how that can be done. But there was also a huge mind shift around who buys formula, and that actually became a status symbol to be able to purchase formula. And so people began to look down on breastfeeding, and without really just ignoring all the benefits of it.
Wow.
What are some of the advantages of breastfeeding for the health of the baby?
Well, for the health of the baby, it really just, I mean, the list goes on and on. Babies who are breastfed are, more likely to have less ear infections. They're less likely to have asthma, which is a huge concern in our community. They're just healthier. They are fatter. They are happier. There's also been studies to show how breast milk helps affect the brain development, so breastfed babies tend to be smarter. So it's just, the list goes on and on. It's really just the best thing you could possibly do, not to mention the it's so easily digested, so we don't have a lot of the allergies and some of the digestive problems that so many of the young children have today.
What are some of the advantages for the health of the mother?
Well, the mom too benefits. It's not just about the babies, it's also healthy for the mom. One, it really can help you reduce your your after-birth weight a lot quicker, so you can shed those pounds a lot quicker, which is a big plus for people like me who are, still at the treadmill. And then also, it reduces the risk of certain cancers, like breast cancer, cervical cancer, and ovarian cancer. All of these studies have shown that breastfeeding actually reduces a woman's risk for getting these. So that's pretty significant.
Wow, absolutely.
How soon after birth should mom start breastfeeding?
Immediately, if possible, as long as it's healthy. The doctor says it's okay. Most hospitals that are baby friendly would recommend that the baby be put immediately up to the breast. So this is not just for bonding, but also to get that sucking action going. It signals to the moms that it's time to start producing milk. It signals to the baby that this is the place to get it, and it just gets the process going a lot easier and a lot sooner.
How should moms go about breastfeeding outside of the home?
Well, there's a lot of talk about this, and breastfeeding out of the home, I feel that this conversation in this country is about making other people comfortable, and I'm more focused on what's best for the baby. Right. So when I go out with my baby, I don't really concern myself with whether someone else is comfortable. My baby needs to eat. As I say, baby needs to eat. And so I have to feed my baby.
The baby's going to eat.
That's right. And baby got to eat. That's how it goes. So I have been in the grocery store, and I used to carry my baby in a shawl, and I would just cover, and I have been nursing my child while I'm on the grocery line, walking through the shopping center. Wow. I go about my day, and, my baby has to eat, and we go about how we, get along with our business. So, for me, I would cover up where possible. But I think that kind of concern prevents people from breastfeeding. You see, that worry about what are people going to think what's going to happen, can I do when I'm out, is actually something that prevents people from going and from doing the breastfeeding, and I don't think that should be an issue. You should just do what's comfortable for you, and the rest of the people can go eat what they want to eat.
Great. What about when they go back to school or work? Or,
well, this is where a good breast pump can come in handy. There's some really great models out there. There are actually some places that probably even here in Newark where you could actually, they would loan you a breast pump. But pumping the milk is a great way for your baby to continue to receive the great nutrition of breast milk, even if you have to go back to school or work. And so I found that when I went back to work, I would try to pump, at least leave a bottle. It's also good, when you need a break. Because every mom needs a break. So if you could pump the milk and leave it with somebody to give that to feed your baby while you take a few hours break, it's also a great thing to do in that instance. So the pumping really comes in handy. So your baby doesn't have to lose that nutritional value.
Right. What are some sources of support for breastfeeding moms right now?
Well, there are lots of great places you can go for support. One I would have to say is mochamanual.com, where we do have some great advice and some tips on breastfeeding, how you can do that successfully. Also, the African American Breastfeeding Alliance, and I believe their website is aaba.org, is also a great resource that you can go to. And also, the hospital where you delivered, you should check there to see whether they have a breastfeeding support group, as many of them do. La Leche League is a very well-known organization that has meetings all over the place. And I really can't stress how important it is to get support, because a lot of times it may not be your mother, your husband, boyfriend, or baby's father who's supporting you. And that if you're committed to breastfeeding and really giving your baby the best, that you might have to look elsewhere for support, as I did, And so it's really important to get that, because that will completely maximize your chances for success.
Great. Ms. Allers, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We don't talk enough about this issue, and the information you shared is so critical. We want to suggest to everyone that you pick up a copy of the MOCA Manual to a Fabulous Pregnancy. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you.